Today, I am going to be looking at 5 different camera bags. If you guys have been subscribed to my YouTube channel for a number of years, you will have noticed that over the years, I have published a number of what's in my camera bag video without really diving too much into the camera bags themselves. So this video is literally dedicated to those of you who are interested in finding a camera bag, specifically the bag itself. I am hopefully going to give you an objective opinion on these camera bags to hopefully aid and assist you in finding a camera bag for 2021. So today's video is pretty much the best camera bag of 2021. So let's get stuck into it. What I wanted to look at with this video was a couple of different price points. So obviously this is going to be my opinion, so I encourage an employee to do your own research. Maybe this is part of it, but other ways that you could research would be to actually go into camera stores themselves and feel the textures, feel what these camera bags are made out of. Get an actual feel for wearing these bags, putting them on and testing them out yourself. As I said, 3 of the camera bags that we're talking about today, we have purchased ourselves. 2 were given to us. They haven't sponsored any of the content. They just sent them out and said, hey, and I guess to some degree that is sort of sponsorship, but I'm going to be as objective as possible in giving you my thoughts and feelings on the bags. The different areas that I'm going to be touching on in today's video are the weight or the size of the camera bag, the price point. Obviously price is a huge deterrent for a lot of people. The sustainability of the bag, both in terms of the manufacturers, the manufacturing of the product, and in terms of the bag itself, like the products being used or the fabrics being used. I also want to look at, I'm just going to give you my personal opinion on the bags that I've used. And lastly, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the technology and design, because camera bags are really they're getting good. They're getting nifty. They're getting really valuable and helpful. And there's a few different designs here that I would hero over others solely because of the way that the bag is designed. So let's talk about that. All right, we're gonna kick this off to show you the 5 bags. 5 bags that we are looking at today are number 1, the Tarion. Amazon, this is a German manufacturer that I think only solely sells online, Tarion. I've only been able to find this bag on Amazon, so if that's a deterrent straight away because you're anti-Jeff Bezos, well, don't get this bag. However, it is the most affordable bag. It is, I think it's $55 US, and it is Anna's camera bag. So this is coming in at number 1. The next bag that we're looking at, oh, it is a beast of a bag. It is I'm going to just call this the Canadian vlogger bag, because every vlogger in Canada seems to have this bag. It's the Nomatic times big Canadian vlogger camera bag. So that's this one. It's by Nomatic and it's paired with a big Canadian vlogger. The next one is the Peak Designs 30 litre Everyday Traveler. Now, yeah, this is the camera bag. If you watch my What's in My Camera Bag of 2020, you'll see this has been the camera bag that I have been using for the last 12 months. And then next to, we've got the GoPro. Now this is the GoPro DayTripper. Okay, now big difference here. The GoPro DayTripper versus the GoPro Seeker. For those of you that are interested, I have used both. GoPro Seeker was the one that they first released. It has the blue trimmings, like you'll see that backpack. This is the DayTripper. This is part of GoPro's new range of everyday bags, and GoPro sent us this as part of our invitation to the GoPro Creator Summit 2020. So that's why we have this camera bag. I have spoken about this camera bag in other GoPro specific videos. But yes, this one was sponsored. This one we didn't pay for. So we're also going to talk about that one. And lastly, the latest addition to this, I was going to say think tank, but this is purely my thoughts here. So feel free to add to the tank in the comment section below. But the last bag is by I think they're a Chinese tech company called PGYTech. Very interesting. Does this look like a bag you've seen somewhere before in this lineup of bags? Maybe. Yes, it looks exactly like the Peak Designs Everyday Traveler. This is the PGYTech OneGo. Now, quote me on that. It is OneGo, not OneMo, M-O. This is the OneGo, G-O, which is their latest addition to the PGYTech family. I've got a lot of thoughts. I've got a lot of opinions on this bag because it is quite awesome. But anyway, please don't let my initial thoughts and feelings weigh this review down. Let's get stuck into it. So the first thing that I wanted to chat about was price point. Now, when we put these 5 backpacks on the line, on the chopping block, if price is the one thing that you are concerned with, then don't buy this bag. The Nomatic Canadian Vlogger backpack is $399 US. Now, that's excluding a lot of the mods and accessories that make this bag extremely superior when it comes to camera trips and the way that I think they've thought about designing this bag. However, yeah, it's around $399 US, and this bag we bought, Anna's mum bought this one. She looked into the design of it and thought this would be the perfect camera bag for a traveling documentary filmmaker for a number of reasons. So, but anyway, this is the most expensive out of the 5 bags that I'm comparing today. The next most expensive is the Peak Designs, which is coming in at $289 US. Now, this is the 30-liter bag. They also sell a 20-liter bag. Double check that on the website. The link will be in the description below. But this is the larger offering by Peak Designs. It is $289. You can get a slightly smaller version for, I think, $220. All right, so that's $289 US. The price has also come down, I might add, because when I purchased this bag, they were selling it at around $400 US. I think I paid 520 Australian dollars for this bag. I give good reason as to why I spent that much money. A lot of people would be like, there's no way I would think this bag is that valuable. I have found a lot of value in it. Yes, it was expensive, and we'll continue to discuss its pros and cons. But anyway, this is the second most expensive bag in these 5. The next one is the PGYTech OneGo. Now, new offering. I think the reason why the Peak Designs bag has come down in price is because of this, which is great. I love competition. I love democracy. I love seeing other brands making products. It's awesome. There should be no one king or one only bag. There should be every bag has a purpose, and everyone's camera bag suits them to their needs. So keep that in mind. This bag is $220 US, so it's middle of the range, middle of the line of these bags. The next one is the GoPro DayTripper. It's $100 or $99 US. And lastly is the bag. Wait, I've got to get it because I flung it off. Yes, I'm doing this review in track pants, sweatpants, whatever you call them. Yeah, so cheapest one is the Tarion, $55 US. Sold through Amazon, currently sold out, but I will put a link in the description to it. So let's have a look at the next category, which I really, really value when it comes to camera bags, and that is weight. When it comes to the weight of a bag, if you are using the bag for travel, which a lot of people do, maybe you're like an everyday traveler, you're just commuting from your office to home or to work or whatever. But if your purpose is for travel, you're looking for a travel camera bag, which is mostly the purpose that I use and that I'm seeking, and so weight comes into the equation. Now, the lightest of all these bags is the GoPro. I'll get the scales for you just to confirm on camera. We've got that on the record. It is the lightest. If you guys are enjoying this video, feel free to head down there and punch the thumbs up button. If you found anything insightful or helpful and you think this video will help other photographers make their decision on camera bags, I would love it if you could click that thumbs up button. Let's keep going. Terrible. Now, the scales, don't quote me on the actual weight of the bags because I don't really trust these scales, but it is able to compare all 5 with a dodgy set of scales. So we have some kind of consistency in the variables here. This bag comes in at, all right, hopefully I can show you that on camera, 0.7 kilograms, so 700 grams. That is light. We have to look at a light bag here. Now, again, these bags have nothing in them. This is just purely the padding and the bag themselves, the materials and the fabrics used to make these bags. Next bag, clip it in. 1.2. 1,200 grams or 1.2 kilograms. Hopefully that's focusing and you can see that. So the Peak Designs everyday 30 liter weighs in with these dodgy scales at 2.1 kilograms. The PGYTech weighs a whopping 2.3 kilograms. Remember, the reason why I'm weighing this is because when you go on a flight, often the cheaper tickets, the more affordable end of the spectrum is a 7 kilo baggage limit for one item. Sometimes you can up that to 10, but I tell you what, I have had so many problems in the past with carrying too much gear to the point where I've had arguments with people at check-in. So this is a real pain point for me, which is why weight is a huge factor in my decision making when it comes to camera bags. So let's just reset these scales. Oh, it's actually got a bit lighter, 2.8. I weighed this bag yesterday, it was 3.1. But today, the dodgy scales say that it's 2.8. All of the websites where you can purchase these bags are linked in the description, so you can fact check to see if the bags, weigh, or my scales are broken, but 2.8. So when we're looking at the scale spectrum, we've got the Nomatic backpack being the top of the end, top being the heaviest, to the GoPro bag being the lightest. There's probably a good reason for that as well, because when we look at volume or weight or how much you can actually fit into these bags, well, the Nomatic, it's 35 liters. So it is literally the biggest bag here. Also the most expensive, coming in next, it's the 30 liter everyday, which surprisingly isn't as heavy as the other bags. It's in the middle. What did we say it was? 2.1 kilograms. Then an 18 liter bag by PGYTech is 2.3 kilos. So pretty heavy for a small bag, but there's also really good reason for why it's probably a bit heavier. It does have accessories in here that you could take out if you were really concerned about your weight. Has different components that you could probably drop a few 100 grams here and there, just wind her back a little. And then like these two at the lower end of the spectrum they're just shells. They're literally like bare minimum lightweight feather bags. Like you could, So that might be of interest to you. Moving on to the next area, which I think is quite important in this day and age, we're going to talk about sustainability. Now, all of these bags are pretty much made out of polyester, nylon, and let's say cotton canvas. I think this is a cotton canvas, which originally was like what most bags were made out of, cotton canvas. And now in this modern era, we have a lot more bags which are made out of polys, which is essentially poly is plastic. It's just these combined fabrics. They're more durable. It's a way that you can get a more expensive fabric and a cheaper fabric and combine them together to have something more affordable. But yeah, all of these bags are pretty much made out of either nylon or polyplastic. Now, when it comes to, and cotton and plastic. So there's a range of different materials involved. When it comes to sustainability, I would say Peak Designs are probably the only company that have sustainability in their design thinking. Now, when I say that, the Peak Designs bag, the outer shell is made out of 100% recycled plastics. So they're making this 400D outer shell. It's like a 400D nylon outer shell. Whatever fabric they've used, D is basically the strength. When you see like a D value, I'm going to put a link to a blog article below which has all of these terms that backpacks use when they talk about like their fabrics, when they talk about these sort of buzzwords, which I have no idea about. I just read this blog and I was like, okay, it makes sense. And I also put another link to, the environmental impact of fabrics and, polys, nylons, all of these, how much they impact the environment. Anyway, my point here is that I don't think any of these other backpacking or bag manufacturers put that into their thinking when they're designing the bag. Peak Designs, however, have. So ticks for them, they are using recycled plastics to make this outer shell. Now, that's not to say that they're perfect. There's probably other areas and other parts of this bag that aren't as environmentally friendly. I guess they're also the one company that's talking about it. So ticks for them. I mean, when we say sustainable, that's in terms of environment. In terms of the actual length that you can use the backpack, I'm sure some of these polys are probably more sustainable in terms of duration. However, durability might also differ. So when you're looking at sustainability, I'm also thinking like, okay, yes, their impact on the cost to actually make it of the planet, but then also how long this bag will last. Now, when I say that, if you're looking at something like cotton canvas will absorb moisture over time and probably rot, whereas nylon and polyesters reflect it. Polyester has an ability to over time has an ability to absorb moisture and eventually rot out, but that's a long freaking period of time. If you are conscious of that, I highly recommend looking at the materials that each of these backpacks have been made and doing your own research and seeing which one is best suited to you. But in my research, I've found that the Peak Designs actually have the best, most sustainable product. Take that with a grain of salt. Let's move on to the next factor. When it comes to technology and design, I'm categorizing this in either good or bad. Now, the good category are all of these three backpacks. Nomatic, the Everyday by Peak Designs, and PGYTech. Their tech, the thought that's gone into these bags for photographers from numerous use cases is extensive. I will say that. It's very extensive to the way that they have created, curated, crafted these products. These other ones, like the Tarion and the GoPro, average. Okay, like it's functional, it has some design thought involved, but they're not leaders in that way. Now, what I will say is when it comes to this GoPro bag, they also offer another backpack, which I don't think is sold through the GoPro website anymore, but it is called the Seeker backpack. Now, the Seeker backpack, that is a little bit more expensive. I think it's like $20 more expensive, but it has a much better design in terms of functionality. It has clips here, these blue clips, you'll see them when you see the backpack, which enable you to use like a chest mount mounted onto the bag. It's also got a much better fabric and padding at the back of it. I would say that it's probably more comfortable. I have worn both, but I haven't really taken it like, oh, this bag's way more comfortable today, I'm going on that. Like some of them, sure, they rub and you're like, generally like this is uncomfortable. But when it comes to these two bags, comparing GoPro Seeker to GoPro DayTripper, I think the design looks identical. However, the Seeker slightly tips the DayTripper. Back to technology, yeah, there's a few little improvements, like they've got this GoPro clip at the front, so you can obviously clip your GoPro at the front. Pockets on the side for water bottles. It's got, you can put your GoPros at the top with this padded area. You can put your SD cards in this sort of waterproof casing section of the bag here. There is an element of design to this bag. And I will say, this is quite a phenomenal bag when it comes to reducing the amount of gear that you take. Like this bag, it's like cutthroat. Do you want to take the drone and the 10 extra batteries and, the extra bundle of accessories that you may or may not use on that day trip? Or don't you? You don't. You just want a few things. I'm taking the Max, I'm taking the GoPro, I'm taking the drone, whatever. It fits a 15-inch MacBook or a laptop in the back. It ticks a lot of boxes. Let's put it that way. As does the Tarion. These clips, they're sort of flimsy. Sometimes when you fill this backpack up, the clips don't actually reach. And then you have this front sort of flap just flapping around. That's kind of annoying. I don't like how it's split into two compartments. That might suit you. I don't like it. It was the exact same design as my previous camera bag. If you check out what's in my camera bag in 2019, I had the crumpler. It's the exact same design as this. You have a top pocket and then this access to like more of a hard open space. So the design isn't great. That's what I'm trying to articulate here. I don't like how you have to sort of, yes, you have to lie the backpack down to open this bottom flap, but then you also have to take this bit off. It's just not the best design for my purpose. I think there's much smarter designs like these three bags, which really nail camera backpack design. Okay, let's literally specify the PGYTech because it has just some phenomenal function. You've got this some kind of designed clip. This front clip I think is kind of nifty. It's like once it just touches the socket, it locks. That, very handy, you know. There's been a number of times when I have taken, if you want to watch the vlog up here, I was using an old camera bag and we were shooting on these rocks, and when we left, I hadn't zipped the bag up the top pocket of the bag, which then my microphone and a bunch of stuff fell out, and then I had to run back and get it. Designs like this are really smart. They actually have a lot of value, and when it comes to thinking about these little extra 1%ers, they make a big difference. They get a little tick for that smart locking system at the top there. The next thing, which I think is awesome, is the fact that when you open it, you can unzip the entire front panel. So then we can look at all of our gear laid out. They've got these inserts, which are all customizable. And the one thing I really like about this PGYTech insert is also that it hooks in. So in comparison to, say, the Peak Designs bag, the inserts don't actually hook in. Like, they just Velcro in. They just strap in like this, which can be good, but it makes the bag a bit floppy. So it doesn't have the same firm form factor as this PGYTech. To put it pretty simply, PGYTech have taken the Peak Designs bag, they've literally copied it, and they've improved it. And I think they've done a pretty good job of that. So let's just pat PGYTech on the back for redesigning, I think, one of the best bags that is available for photographers. So you've got these inserts. Now, these can also be customizable. They are Velcro. As I was saying before, if you want to reduce the weight, you could take this out and you could just have your camera bag. That's awesome. Now, the next little thing that I think is awesome, really cool, in this little pocket here, you've got these magnets, pins. They're multifunctional. So the first functionality is to, say, tighten a screw. What you can do is they stick on here, they're magnetic. So when you have a battery that's fully charged, you'd put it in and you would showcase that it's green, fully charged. Let's say you're shooting all day, you take the battery out, you put it in here, you flip it, the battery's been used. So then when you come to take your next battery, you know that these pockets are good to go. Really smart, really just intuitive. It's like, okay, this is valuable. Now, there's other ways that you can do this. Like Matt Joes used to teach me, when you have those Canon camera batteries, you can just flip the back panel so you know one's charged and one's not. You can put it in a box. There's loads of ways that we can do this as photographers. But it's nice that the backpack company is taking that into consideration. You've got plenty of pockets, plenty of storage within this bag, which all seems extremely durable. Now, if you also wanted to access your camera from the side, you've got this pocket here. So if your camera's in the side here, you can just sling it around, pull your camera out from the side. So you've got side access and top access, which I think is great. I think the bag has some pretty comfortable cooling and mesh padding at the back. And then you also have this functionality where you've got all these little hooks and clips. All of these higher end camera bags these days have them. Now, these hooks and clips can be used for things like rolling like say you wanted to just connect your tripod at the bottom. You can take these hooks off, like these little bits and pieces, and you can just hook things in. So they've gone sort of that extra mile in being like, okay, how else can we design this bag so we can help our community to use the bag for many more functions than just one. So that would be a use case where you might have a tent if you were going hiking, or I don't know, to be honest, this camera bag, in terms of the look of it, it's pretty sleek. When it comes to if you were purely choosing your camera bag on how it looks and its aesthetic, if you're taking this on a plane, it's a little corporate. It's sleek, it's shiny, If you're going out in the woods and you're an adventure photographer, this is probably a much cooler look. It's much more like alternative and it's canvas. Come on, this is you get what I mean here. What I'm trying to say here is they each sort of have a different purpose in mind. We're looking at someone who's more into the outdoors and camping. This is probably more of a city slickers backpack. Not to say that it's not durable. It's got a polyprene outer case, which obviously it's water repellent and water resistant. It's not going to get wet. Your stuff's not going to get wet, which is really good. This, however, it's just canvas. Your bag probably will get wet. So you might need to buy a plastic cover, which I have bought for my camera bag, because when you're out actually putting these bags into practice, and you're actually taking them out in the wild, and you're actually shooting, if that's the type of photography or videography that you create, it's not like all these theoretical things that people review. They need purpose, you know? Like, so all of these bags that I'm looking at right now, like if you're a hiker, I'd say there's maybe better bags in different ranges, like Shimono or Shimoda. They make bags for hikers. These bags are probably more for like everyday travelers, commuters. These aren't rugged hiking wilderness camera bags. So also take that into consideration. But in terms of tech and design, I am certainly putting these two bags, you know, same thing. They're pretty much exactly the same. You've got this nice clip which hooks on. You've got magnets at the back. So these back straps sort of always magnetize back when you're putting it away. Well thought out, big ticks. We've got a lot to talk about when it comes to design in terms of the Nomatic, because yes, this bag is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I know there's a lot of people that really talk this bag up online because of the community that surrounds the creator. But, you know, I will say that they have gone to extensive research to make this a highly functional bag for photographers. Now, what I think is really, really awesome is the fact that they've gone and made a camera bag that's also extended for luggage, for gear. So when it comes to like the price point, maybe you're factoring in, it is the most expensive bag, but it also means that I don't have to get a second bag to pack gear, you know, to pack my clothes. That's what the design has enabled with this camera bag. It's like, you know, maybe my camera bag's $200, but I also need a bag to just have my gear, a duffel or something. This bag has taken that into consideration. So I do think you are getting value, even though it's expensive. I'm not sure exactly how much it fits. I think it's like 5 liters. And then you have obviously the 30 liters at the back. You've got the ability to access your camera. You've also got these little modifications. You can fully customize the inserts of this bag. You can fit a laptop. It's got this piece here so you can slide it onto your luggage. You can also take this back strap off. So that's going to take a couple 100 grams off it. So, you know, if you are looking to reduce the weight, the textiles that Nomatic have gone to use this bag are durable, are seriously durable from eyesight and feeling. I haven't hiked in the wilderness with it, but they look like, and when I researched what they're actually using, they are using high-grade polys and nylon fabrics. I think it's like a 700D. Make sure, as I said, check the links below and you'll be able to work out exactly what materials they're using. They also offer a lifetime warranty on the design. So if it's faulty when you get it, that doesn't mean if you take it and you rip a hole in it because you're hiking, they're not going to replace it. They'll replace it if the design is faulty. So they are sort of staying true to their word that their design is solid. Offers pretty much everything. You can fit a drone, you can fit a long lens, you can fit... Yeah, I hope this video has given you some insight into some of the features and functionalities of these backpacks, these bags. I implore you, as I said at the start of this video, to do your research. Go into a camera shop and actually feel it, test it out. Set aside, work out what your budget is when you're coming to buy a camera bag. If you're just getting into photography and you don't need all of these additional features, like these other well-designed and bags come with a price tag. You can easily get a bag like this for $55 off Amazon that's going to fit all of your gear and serve your purpose as a photographer, and it's also going to look cool. My personal opinion on which bag to use, I will either be using any one of the 3 that's flopped over here on the floor. No, I mean, when it comes to camera bags, I have used this bag for the last year. I have used this bag for every shoot that we've done. It has traveled to 6 countries. It traveled all across Italy with us, Switzerland. I've taken it hiking through Switzerland. I mean, we took it to Mexico. It has been a phenomenal camera bag and I've used it a lot. It's been on sand, it's been on dirt, and the outer shell you know, has done a very, very phenomenal job of protecting my gear and also serving a phenomenal purpose of fitting everything that I need. It really does fit. It's 30 liters. That for me is sort of minimum for the amount of gear that I'm taking on my trips. It's lightweight, it's durable, and it's just well designed. And I also like the fact that they're conscious when they're producing these products of the environment. So that's the bags that I currently use. Maybe if I was going on a bit of a longer trip, I would consider taking the Nomatic backpack and just packing some clothes, you know, in the top rather than taking an extra duffel. But it depends. Often that doesn't suit me. I'll check in luggage and I'll take this bag with me, you know, on the plane. So yeah, hope this has given you some insight, some better understanding. The links below will be affiliate links where I have affiliates. I'm not affiliated with some of these products, so I can't link them, but I will still link the products anyway. If you have liked this video, do punch that thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel. And yeah, make sure you check out my other video that I'm gonna post, what's in my camera bag, which will be up here. See you guys in the next upload. Ciao. Peace.